Now, WBOC News This Morning, Delmarva's news leader.
The snow may have tapered off, but now we're dealing with bone-chilling cold and icy streets. This is a live look from our Spicer Brothers construction camera at Salisbury University, where you can still see heavy snow blanketing the campus.
We've got team coverage for the aftermath of Blizzard 2018. From the WBOC Newsplex in Salisbury, let's get your morning started with news from all over Delmarva. Good morning. You're watching WBOC News This Morning. I'm Jimmy Hoppa.
I'm Kimberly Wiggins.
And I'm meteorologist Mike Lichniak. It's Friday, January 5th.
2 words, bone-chilling, well, 3.
That's 3, yeah.
Bone-chilling cold.
Semantics.
Whatever.
It is
It's been a long
freezing.
2 days.
It's been a long 2 days. It is a freezing cold start across Delmarva, and the wind is not helping us out at all. As you step out the door this morning, if you have to be out and about, you're going to want all the extra layers out there. Wind chill advisory up for Delmarva through Saturday now, as we are going to see these winds stay up and it's going to stay cold. Temperatures at this hour are in the teens, but when you factor in the wind everywhere on Delmarva, we are seeing below 0 wind chills this morning. And that's thanks to the snowpack out there. This is from yesterday. The cold air is funneling in from the north and west. This will be moving across Delmarva as we continue through today. A live look into Dover from our Bay Health Kent campus camera, showing you 13 degrees with the wind chill there, -4. We'll get into the upper teens today. That's as good as we're going to do. And then we fall back even farther tomorrow morning. It is going to be cold the next couple of days. There is good news in the 7-day forecast. There are 40s and there are 50s.
Well, I can't even imagine that right now.
Right, but here's the other part. But we do have rain chances in the forecast. We'll talk about when those will arrive coming up in about 5-6 minutes.
Okay, we'll check back in. As Mike said, the story this morning is not only the snow still covering Delmarva, but the frigid cold temperatures.
Those temperatures are causing many of the roads to freeze, including areas where the plows managed to get to yesterday. So if you have to get out this morning, please take your time and be extra careful. As
you do go outside today, even just to shovel, you're going to want to bundle up because the whipping winds are making it brutal outside. We caught up with some last night who are just trying to stay warm.
You should definitely know to bundle up. As many clothes as possible, plenty of layers, and try and keep your face, your fingers, and your toes warm. Those are your 3 most important things.
States of emergency have been declared all across the region because of this blizzard.
Maryland Governor Larry Hogan and Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe declared states of emergency for the lower shore on Wednesday. Of course, ahead of the storm, Governor John Carney has also issued a state of emergency for Sussex County and a level 2 restriction countywide. That means nobody should be driving in Sussex County unless they're essential personnel.
After Governor Hogan declared a state of emergency for Maryland, he spent a good part of the day here on the Eastern Shore to get a look at everything. He's urging people to stay indoors and let state and local crews work on the roads.
With the blowing snow and the cold temperatures, this is very dry snow, it's icy conditions, and we're asking people, if you don't have to go, if it's not an emergency, we want you to stay off the road.
Governor Hogan toured parts of Ocean City before visiting the State Highway Administration office in Salisbury. His final stop was at the State Police Barracks in Easton.
We have team coverage for you again this morning as Delmarva begins to try to dig out from the storm. WBOC's Kent County Bureau Chief Tom Lehman's keeping an eye on the conditions in Delaware, and WBOC's Angelo BAVARO is checking on road conditions in Wicomico County. That's where we find him now, joining us live in Salisbury. Morning, Angelo. A lot of people waking up this morning having to dig out.
Jimmy, good morning. It is a tale of 2 cities in Salisbury here by Eastern Shore Drive. Now, I want to first show you Eastern Shore Drive here. You can see that this is a road that has received a lot of attention from these plow trucks. You can see we've got a lot of blacktop visible, which is a good sign. But still, you might be able to see some black ice forming, which is definitely causing some problems for drivers getting through here, going slow and steady. And if you take a look down here, you can see we have this very, very thick layer of ice just building over the roadways. Definitely going to create some problems for those plow trucks as they try to get through here. Now, the second big story around this area, take a walk with me this way, South Division Street here. You can see the snow in this area just inches away has remained virtually untouched. Take a look down here. You can see just the tire tracks trying to get through here, these big mounds of snow. And of course, if you take a look back here, we have these tall, thick piles of snow just building up all over the place, definitely causing some problems for drivers as they try to turn through here. And if you take a look down here, you can see that is the case all down the side streets. Just take a look. You can see all of that white just blanketing the side streets here. So folks waking up this morning definitely going to have a lot to dig through. And of course, you guys mentioned in the studio, the third big story out here, the cold. It is incredibly unbearable out here. Very difficult to feel my face right now. It's probably very red, very difficult to speak. So we're going to let some drivers we spoke with earlier this morning give you a little update about the road conditions out here. Just take a listen.
The wind and the snow and just everything mixed together, it's extremely cold out here. Intensely cold.
Snow drifts, snow everywhere. Cars stuck.
Spoke with Maryland SHA last night. They tell me they totally acknowledge the fact that this cold and this wind is going to create some problems with plowing operations, slowing down those salting operations. However, they assure me that every road will be plowed, including these side streets here. We are live in Salisbury. I'm Angelo Bavaro. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, well, go warm up, Angelo.
Oh, no kid.
If you went out on the roads at all yesterday, you likely saw your fair share of people stuck in the snow, or possibly you were one of them.
Take a look at this video. It's sort of a daisy chain of people trying to help each other and then needing help themselves. This was at the Seaside Village Complex, West Ocean City. Here's the deal. There was a Jeep helping tow a sheriff's deputy who was helping a stuck 60-ton tow truck who was helping a stuck 18-wheeler with the snow drifts. Obviously very easy to get stuck in the snow. A lot of people helping out and helping others. By the way, an update from DelDOT this morning. The level 2 driving restriction is still in place for Sussex County.
DelDOT says their first priority is clearing the primary roadways before they can get to the secondary ones. With the strong winds, drifting snow, and intense cold, DelDOT says getting to all the roads will take time, though. Salt doesn't work as well to melt snow when it's this cold out. But DelDOT says they are fully staffed and working to clear roads. No word yet on when the restriction will be lifted. For a first-hand look at those roads this morning, we're joined live by WBOC's Kent County Bureau Chief Tom Lehman in Milford. Good morning, Tom. Main roads look better, but the cold temperatures aren't helping things.
Thank you, Kim. Road conditions are definitely improving here in southern Kent and Sussex counties, but there is still a lot of work to be done. One complicating factor simply is the wind. It is bitterly cold here already, and the wind is not making things any easier. I want to show you this tree right here. You might be able to see some slight wobble in the branches, as well as some flags blowing in the background there. That is showing you how windy it is right now. The wind is just blisteringly cold as it comes through here and continues to make already cold temperatures feel even worse. Now, I want to show you this main road right here. This is Route 14 cutting right through Milford. Things are definitely improving on main roads. DelDOT says they've been able to get to them, but even on this road, you can see the reflection from that car's headlights, and it shows you that there's still a lot of ice on the roadways. And the reason why, again, is because this wind and cold temperatures are making things very difficult when it comes to the cleanup process. A lot of secondary roads and side roads in many places, especially in Sussex County, are still very much a mess right now. You want to try and avoid them if you can. DelDOT says they're going to try and get their plow trucks out there to clean things up as this day continues. We'll have more on the conditions out here as they continue through this morning. Reporting live in Milford, I'm Tom Lehman for WBOC News.
Thank you, Tom. And we, of course, will check back in with our live crews throughout this morning. So, I mean, you heard the wind in Tom's live shot. Are they going to calm down anytime soon?
Not for the next 24 to 36 hours. It is going to be windy, which is why we have those wind chill advisories up for all of Delmarva through now Saturday. Through midday Saturdays when those wind chill advisories will finally start to expire around here. And the other thing is that snowpack, that fresh snowpack that we have out there is not going to help us out a bit. In fact, it's actually going to hurt us because all the sun that we're going to have come down is going to get bounced back up. Remember, sunlight gets reflected back on white things. There's plenty of white out there to reflect all the sunlight up, so it's not really going to warm up the earth that much as we go through today. Live storm tracker radar quiet. There are your wind chill advisories that are in effect. Notice that it says Friday at 10. They just updated it in the last 20 minutes. That's going to say Saturday at noon is when these wind chill advisories will finally expire. We have this cold air mass moving in across Delmarva. We have clear skies overhead right now. And again, this is all funneling in from Canada, from deep in Canada, and this is going to continue over the next couple of days. Take a look at this. It's minus 17 in Fargo this morning, 1 degree below zero in Milwaukee. It's 6 below in Indianapolis, and in Salisbury, it's right now 13 degrees. It's also 13 in Ocean City, but when you factor in the wind, it feels like it's below zero. From our Greater Crisfield Action Coalition camera in Crisfield, 15 degrees. A northwest wind right now sustained at 25 miles an hour makes it feel like it's below zero. It's 17 on Tangier, but it feels like it's 3 below. It feels like it's 5 below in Millington. It feels like it's 6 below in Rootsburg right now, though everybody right now in the low teens, and that's because the winds are out of the northwest and they are still windy at about 10 to 25, even a sustained wind on Tangier at 32 miles an hour. So we're seeing gusts to 40, 45 miles an hour across the region. As we work through today, it's a sunny day. Temperatures are in the teens, but when you factor in the wind, it just feels cold. It feels like it's going to be in the single digits for much of the day. Here we are at 2 o'clock in the morning, single digits, low teens. We'll stop the clock at 6 a.m., single digits. And I honestly think with the wind dying down, I think the model is a little too warm here for the temperatures in the morning tomorrow morning. So when you factor that in, you've got double digits below zero. It's going to feel like it's 12 below in Milton. It's going to feel like it's 12 below in Dover tomorrow morning. Then as we work through tomorrow, we're only back into the teens, folks, and it still feels like it's below zero. So dangerously cold wind chills the next couple of days. We'll start to warm things up as we head into early next week, but it does come with a chance for rain.
Feel like it's 12 below.
Wow.
Well, one positive, Lola focused on her business yesterday and this morning. She in and out.
And done. And good. See, mine just stand at the door and then look at me and say, you want me to what? Not today.
Well, let's take a live look from the Greater Crisfield Action Coalition camera. Coming up, we'll take a little tour of Delmarva through our weather cameras. There you go, to give you a closer look at conditions. It's 5:12 on WBOC News this morning. But first, the people, the places, our history.
WBOC is proud to serve all of Delmarva. Let's check in with Captain Willie Dykes.
A church with over 300 years of history in Sussex County.